Y'all, it looks like President Donald J. Trump is coming for Diddy, and this time, he's making sure there's no escape. After a shocking new twist in Diddy's already explosive legal troubles, Trump is allegedly urging the court to throw the book at him and hand down the maximum sentence possible. We're talking about the kind of punishment that could lock Diddy away for life. Sources close to the situation claim Trump's move isn't just about punishing Diddy, it's about sending a loud public message after what allegedly went down behind closed doors between the two. And things already appear to be in motion, because what the judge just told Diddy and his lawyers reportedly left them stunned. Now, Diddy's legal team is said to be in full panic mode, scrambling to figure out their next move. Donald J. Trump has publicly taken a sledgehammer to Diddy's crumbling legal defense, and the way he did it has everyone talking. After years of lawsuits, disturbing allegations, and nonstop headlines, Trump is allegedly making it crystal clear that he has no intention of saving Diddy. So forget those whispers about a presidential pardon. Trump shut that down in the most brutal way possible. Not only did he dismiss the idea, but he also made sure people knew that whatever friendship they once shared is long gone. And the reason behind this shift? It's not as simple as politics. What Trump revealed flips the narrative of their history and may explain why he's pushing for the harshest possible sentence. According to insiders, what really pushed Trump over the edge was learning that Diddy didn't have his back during the last election. Not only did Diddy refuse to support him, but he allegedly spoke negatively about him behind the scenes. For Trump, that was a personal betrayal, especially given their friendly history. That's when any remaining loyalty between them completely snapped.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would say.
To be fair, Diddy never exactly hid the fact that he wasn't a fan of Trump. Back in 2017, he flat out said in an interview, "I think that, to be honest, we don't really give a fucks about Trump because black people are in the same messed up position. So that's not what we're on. The tomfoolery going on in D.C., that's just regular everyday business to black folks. That's not surprising." And he didn't stop there. In 2020, during an interview with Charlemagne the God, he doubled down and made it very clear where he stood, saying that the #1 priority should be getting Trump out of office.
#1 priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man.
Well, that definitely aged like milk, because not only is Trump refusing to grant Diddy a presidential pardon, but word on the street is that he's gone a step further, allegedly pressuring the presiding judge, Judge Aaron, to hit Diddy with the maximum sentence possible for charges he has already been found guilty of. For context, those charges are no small matter. Diddy was convicted on 2 counts of violating the Mann Act, a federal law that makes it illegal to transport anyone across state lines for unlawful sexual activity. Each count carries up to 10 years behind bars, which means he's now staring down the possibility of spending the next 20 years in prison. Here's the twist. Before Trump allegedly got involved, legal experts predicted a much lighter outcome. Since Diddy is a first-time offender who has already spent significant time in custody, many believed he might walk away with probation or time served, avoiding more years behind bars. But with Trump reportedly pushing for the harshest punishment possible, that prediction may have gone up in flames. Diddy's legal team seems to know the stakes too. According to reports, they've been working overtime to secure a presidential pardon. The problem is, the public isn't exactly on their side. A petition urging Trump not to pardon Diddy has already racked up more than 11,000 signatures. To make matters worse, Judge Aaron appears to be taking Trump's comments to heart, as he's been noticeably stricter in handling the case. Just days ago, Diddy's lawyers filed their 5th request for bail. For the first time in months, there was genuine hope that he might be released after nearly a year behind bars. But the judge denied the request once again, ordering Diddy to remain in custody until sentencing, even after offering a staggering $50 million bond secured by his Miami mansion. The court wasn't swayed. Judge Aaron wrote that the court must find clear and convincing evidence that the person is not likely to flee or pose a danger to the safety of any other person or the community if released, and concluded that Diddy posed both a flight, risk, and a danger. In a last-ditch effort, Diddy's lawyers filed a motion asking the court to either throw out the guilty verdicts or grant him a new trial. They argued, "To our knowledge, Mr. Combs is the only person ever convicted of violating the statute for conduct anything like this. It is undisputed that he had no commercial motive, that all involved were adults, and that the men chose to travel and engage in the activity voluntarily. The verdict confirms the women were not vulnerable, exploited, or trafficked. However, the judge has not yet ruled on the motion, and according to insiders, it's highly unlikely he will overturn the verdict, especially now that the president is openly urging him to be tough on Diddy. The wild part is that just a few weeks ago, Diddy and his team were riding high, almost cocky, convinced that a presidential pardon was practically guaranteed. They acted like it was only a matter of time before he walked free. Now, that confidence has flipped into desperation. The truth is, Diddy has always moved in political circles, and even Trump once admitted that they used to share a friendship. So it's not surprising that talk of a presidential pardon surfaced in the first place. After all, Diddy and Trump go way back, long before Bad Boy Records, before the scandals, back when Diddy was still Puff Daddy and both men moved in the Phi. Same flashy, high-profile circles. And if you need proof they were once close, there's even a clip of Trump himself saying he would always stick up for Diddy no matter what.
Love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick.
I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him. That's what really made fans start side-eyeing the situation. When President Trump was asked about Diddy's legal troubles while the trial was still underway, he didn't shut the question down at all. Instead, he dropped a subtle hint that a pardon might actually be on the table. Yes, he really said it. It definitely looked like there was a glimmer of hope. At the time, rumors were flying that Diddy's legal team was working overtime behind the scenes to secure the pardon Trump had hinted at. We're talking quiet meetings, big money moves, and even whispers of political donations. Allegedly, they were pulling every string possible to make sure that pardon went through without a single question. According to a court insider, that so-called pardon spree a couple of months ago was nothing more than a smokescreen, and the real target all along was Diddy. But the insider also claimed the president knew pardoning Diddy outright would send the internet into chaos. So instead, the strategy was to roll out a few other high-profile pardons first: NBA YoungBoy for weapons charges, reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley for fraud and tax evasion, and even a blanket pardon for January 6th rioters. The idea was to warm up the public, make it look like business as usual, and then quietly slip Diddy's name into the mix. Suspicious timing, right? But here's where things got even wilder. Word on the street was that this pardon wasn't coming for free. According to the insider, there was a dirty little deal in play. The feds allegedly offered Diddy a way out if he handed over dirt on major players. In exchange, his problems could disappear. And apparently, Diddy didn't hold back. The insider claimed he named names: Oprah, Gayle King, Ellen, and even big political figures, allegedly cooperating with federal investigators. The real kicker? This wasn't just about shaving off a few years or dodging charges. Diddy was reportedly gunning for something much bigger, a full-blown presidential pardon. And how was he planning to get it? Allegedly, by holding on to scandalous dirt about Trump himself, and he wasn't afraid to use it. Now, we don't know exactly what kind of dirt Diddy was sitting on, or if he had receipts to back it up, but whispers in the streets claimed it was tied to one infamous name that still haunts Hollywood, Epstein's list. Things went into overdrive earlier this month when Elon Musk shook the internet by basically outing Trump, claiming he was on Epstein's long-rumored files. Musk tweeted, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald J. Trump is on the Epstein files. This is the real reason they haven't been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump." Hours later, the tweet was deleted. But as we all know, the internet never forgets. Trump quickly denied the allegations, brushing them off as old news, insisting he had no involvement with Epstein and hadn't been friendly with him for nearly 2 decades before his death. Diddy had been trying to blackmail Trump. It clearly backfired, badly. And here's the tragic irony. If he had just stayed quiet, he might have stood a better chance of actually securing that pardon. But now, with reports claiming the judge is under presidential pressure to hand down the maximum sentence, it looks like Diddy will be calling prison home for a very long time. His empire is crumbling in real time, the pardon dream is dead, and the judge seems locked in on the harshest punishment possible. What was supposed to be Diddy's big play for freedom has spectacularly blown up in his face. And now, instead of walking out a free man, he's staring down the reality of spending the rest of his life behind bars. If nothing changes, this won't just be remembered as another celebrity scandal. It will go down as the moment Diddy's story ended in a prison jumpsuit.